Den with Seth.
You got to feel what's inside. Don't let them take you for a fool now. Don't let them take you for a ride.
Welcome to the world, young soul, where untold adventures unfold. Where the moon shine and the sun glow. Plant seeds and see what grows. Water your garden with wishes and dreams. Free like a fish in the sea. But listen to me, not everyone listens to dreams. Some hearts are skipping a beat.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? Welcome to another Lion's Den with Seth. I'm your host, Seth, and I couldn't be anything without the rest of the crew. What's going on, Larry?
Hey, what's going on, brother, man? How you feeling?
Man, feeling all right, man. So, hey, I like them headphones, man. You sounding crisp and clean.
Appreciate it, man. $30 at the BX to get you right.
Hey, can't beat that. What's going on with you in them streets?
Ain't nothing new, man. I'm just relaxing, enjoying this wonderful 3-day weekend. You know, getting ready for some MLK Day tomorrow. You know, do something.
Getting ready for MLK. You know, I like that. And that kind of brings me to the thought process. What would Martin Luther King say today? You dig? Just think about that. What up, Herm? How you feeling?
Man, I'm good, man. How y'all feeling?
Man, we're feeling all right,
brother.
So, so something happened. Look, you either went to a funeral or you went to church one good time, or what was going on with that blazer, brother? You're looking clean.
Your boy just can't look good today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yo. You're looking good, brother. Looking good. What's going on with you?
We said, man, this weekend was pretty eventful weekend for me. You know what I'm saying? My hometown buzzing over this race that I had. You know what I mean?
I'm glad you said something because
but we're gonna move past that. But I'm just
no, the hell we is. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. No.
With everybody's happy.
Is that it? That's it? Come on, bro. Hey, I'm your boy, but I ain't gonna have you on the show talking bullshit.
Understand one thing. I think I ripped my whole groin muscle out doing that race. And the sad part about it, man, everybody's talking about it. Man, on my page is crazy. And I can't respond because I'm banned from commenting for 6 days on Facebook.
So listen, not only are you out of line because you raced someone, lost, and then you went to Facebook jail. You dig? So it's like your whole weekend is out of line.
I can't even defend myself, man.
You can't do it. You shouldn't have did it. Hey, well, look, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, look, before we get too deep into it, y'all know how we do around this time. We got to give a shout out to our sponsors. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Tracy Brown. As a financial literacy coach and credit repair specialist, Tracy teaches people the importance of personal finance and help them identify and dispute negative items on their credit reports. Okay. Her services allows individuals to leverage the Fair Credit Report Act and improves their overall credit score and credit history to position themselves for home ownership. Y'all know y'all need somewhere to stay, right? Lower interest rates, entrepreneurship, and generational wealth. Ladies and gentlemen, please give Miss Tracy Brown a call. Her number is 618-560-3687. Get your credit right. All right. Get it right. Get it together. Get it tight. Please do that. It's imperative. So, brothers, have y'all seen this One Night in Miami?
I have. I watched it last night, man. A really phenomenal movie. Regina King did a good job on that movie.
Yeah. What you think about it? You think it hit the message?
I think so. She made a good point about the voice, like what we're doing now with the podcast. Mm-hmm. She made a good point about using your voice, and I think it collides with today with like LeBron James and what they're doing with their star status. You know, using that platform to voice your opinion about what's going on in the community, regardless of what community you come from. Using that platform to voice what's happening in that community.
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, that brings me to another topic, and it goes very well with our subject today as far as your big breakthrough. Look, what you got, huh?
Before we go, I just want to make sure it correlates. You
Oh,
said
wait.
That's what I said.
correlate. I want to make sure correlates.
There you go.
It correlates with today's message.
You see,
I
you
got,
ain't
I got
to
my
call
boys
them out.
back. You know what I mean?
No,
I'm
bro.
in a
You
blazer today. I'm feeling smart. You know what I mean?
how you gonna feel smart and your ass left and you lost and then you in Facebook jail, bro. You're gone. You ain't got nothing to say for real. No, but look, seriously though, y'all. Look back to the point. Understand where we are today, and it's extremely important that we use the platforms that we have, because people are out of line outside of our own four walls in our homes. You see, so the things that we say are extremely important. There are individuals out there that don't like the way we look, you see, and based off of the climate today, they would do anything to stop our voice, hurt us, hurt our families, black, brown, indifferent, just because we don't look like them. So it's important that you guys take this serious and understand that your thoughts and your voice matters. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, y'all give it up for Miss Chrissy. Yeah. What's going on? What's going on? Ciphered. How you doing, ma'am?
I am doing well. Thank you so much. I am honored to join the Pride this evening. Lovely, lovely. Look at all these beautiful men right in front of me. Like, I don't know, somebody might be getting jealous at home.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, we're going to blame it on the blazer. You see?
There you go. That's what it is. That's what it is.
That's good. So tell us a little bit about you and the cipher, right? Ciphered Knowledge. Talk about that a little bit.
So I will give you a little look into me. I am a New Yorker. I'm a Bronx girl, born and raised, now residing in Jersey, but the Bronx will always be in my heart. You can take the girl out the Bronx, but you can't take the Bronx out the girl. Mm-hmm. So I am a hospice nurse by profession, and I do some home community nursing as well. I've done that for quite a while. That is my calling. That is my purpose. But I also have a second purpose, and that is my podcast. It's Ciphered Knowledge with Chrissy. And basically what it is a podcast that provides knowledge, information based on either professionals that come on or insight or experiences by the guests that are on my show. It's usually a one-on-one. Sometimes I do panels. But in my mind, I feel like a lot of people kind of think within a 5-mile radius. And my slogan, which is right behind me, is if all you've experienced is all you know, then you are in a deficit of knowledge.
Damn,
And
hold on, wait a minute. Look, let's say it for those with the cheap seats. Say it one more time for them. What is it?
If all you've experienced is all you know, then you are in a deficit of knowledge, right?
You hear that, Herm?
Oh, don't try me, man.
What do you say? Try Jesus.
I agree with that. Yeah. That's one of my biggest arguments right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, that's dope.
Yeah, so that's what my show is, being able to provide information, right? So that 5-mile radius is like you're stuck there, and all you know is all you've experienced. But if you kind of open up your mind and allow other people's experience to enter into your heart, then maybe you'll be a little more compassionate, empathetic, and tolerant to the things that are in this world. So that's the basis of my show.
Ooh, that's
you can't give people a world view from your front porch. And that's all you know.
Right. You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Hit it, Herm.
Hey, so with your podcast, let us know. You had like a wide variety of guests, but recently I noticed you did. I didn't get to watch the podcast, but you did an advertisement for a troop that was deported, and you said it said deported and a veteran should never go in the same sentence. I hope I got that right on your advertisement, which I agree. How did that? Can you tell our audience how that podcast went, and what did you get from that podcast after you finished your interview?
Yeah, it was the word deported should never come before the word veteran. Right. So I think a lot of people had questions in regards to how he an immigrant, but still was able to serve our country. Right. So he came here from Mexico with his mom when he was 2 years old. And so he ended up becoming not a citizen, but a legal resident based off of, just to make it in simpler terms, the Dreamers Act. So kind of that fell in place. I believe that was back in the mid 90s, early 90s, where he was able to serve our country. So he served for us, and when he got out, he ended up in a little bit of trouble. He was caught in New Mexico with some marijuana and was arrested for it. He was told by his attorney that just to plead guilty, it would go away and it was no big deal. And he did that. And for a while, he was fine. He went to Costa Rica for work. And when he tried to come back into the country, that is when they deemed him a terrorist and told him that he could not come back into the country because he had that charge with carrying the marijuana. So he could not come back home to the only home that he knew. When I heard his story, it ripped my heart in pieces, because this man who so openly and wholeheartedly put his life on the line to sacrifice for our freedoms was now being told he wasn't good enough to come back into our country. And that ripped me to pieces. And I felt like I had a platform, and since I had that platform, I was going to let him yell as loud as he wanted to yell on my platform. And, fortunately enough, he's done a lot of fighting for himself. He's fighting for other veterans as well. He said there's something like 1,000 deported veterans. There's no real solid number, but when you put it together, it's about 1,000 of them. And he's working feverishly to get them back home as well. He was able, the governor of New Mexico, where he had the crime, was able to get his conviction overturned. However, he is still here undocumented and still raising his voice loud for everybody else that is not here that served us.
Wow. So that's huge. That's real huge. Wow. So thank you for doing that. Thank you. And sometimes you never know what's going on unless there is a platform that's bringing awareness to something, right? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Chrissy, I want to back up a little bit and go back to how you got started. I always like to know the background of how people get to where they are. So what made you get into the podcast world and to start doing what you're doing currently?
So back when the pandemic started, I feel like that's this is how it started, right? Right. Back in the pandemic. But I actually was on a podcast with 3 other women. And I don't even think I need to say anything more than that. 4 women in one room. I don't even need to elaborate, right? We all got what happened. Personalities, egos, all of that kind of got in the way. Also, it wasn't going in a direction that I wanted it to go in. It was more about the look versus the substance and the brain. And I couldn't flow like that anymore. So I decided that I was going to go ahead and leave the podcast. It was a mutual thing. It wasn't a pleasant leave. It wasn't like, okay, still love you, kind of. There was some riff in there.
The balls come out.
So now, because we have individuals that are that's interested in have podcasts or want podcasts, and it's different to have a monologue, right? Or just with guests and then with a team. What do you think is the most important thing to have a functioning team, especially with women, right? Because the dynamics are different. So what would you say as far as advice?
Yeah. So my advice on if you're working with a team, women, right? And it's just all women. Mm-hmm. First one is to make sure your goals match, to make sure that everybody is on the same page of what they want this podcast to be. And that everybody's on the same page. The second is also to delegate the work. Excuse me. Seth, give me a second.
I'm gonna get my
wait, is that the
man?
You better keep that over there. No, goodness gracious. Hold on, where's my damn Lord?
Get I need my virtual mask.
Trying to get me
I ain't got no antivirus on
my
phone.
Listen, I quit smoking. And I feel like my lungs are like, yo, what's going on? This is not how it's supposed to be. Like,
Congratulations on quitting smoking.
Thank you.
Congratulations on that. But listen, you sneeze, cough, or even say your throat, you got corona. That's it.
That is not corona. Listen, I get tested twice a week. All right, it is not corona.
Yeah, okay. But no, seriously though, to your point, what were you saying? So number 2 was making sure that you're all on the same page, right?
Right. Delegating task.
Mm-hmm.
Do not start the podcast with one person doing everything. Okay? Because then what ends up happening is just like with work, right? You have to have boundaries. You have to set boundaries. If you start a new job and you do everything for the organization, that now becomes your job. It's no longer extra stuff that you're doing. It's now your requirement of what you should complete. So when you're starting this podcast, make sure everybody is doing the equal amount of work. So one person isn't feeling burnt out, and then there's this tension and people are talking behind each other's back. And that'll be number 3. Be honest. Be honest with each member of the panel so that you guys can air out any of your grievances, the differences. That passive aggressive stuff is not going to work. Like, you just have to be forward and say what you mean and mean what you say. And I think if you could get those 3 things aligned, then you can progress towards a positive environment. But it has to be done from day one. Don't try to do it later on because it's just not, I don't think it's going to kick off right.
I understand that. That's more than just podcasts we just gave y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's any kind of working relationship right there.
Yeah.
You know, straight up. You know, because a lot of people, Seth, like to take on everything on themselves on their own like that. You
Wait,
know what I mean?
say what? Why my damn name?
Sip my tea.
Oh, you gonna sip now? Now you sipping your shit? Okay, but no, it ain't that. And you know what?
You do have some people with them personalities, and I ain't picking on my boy, but them personalities that feel like, man, it's not gonna get done right unless I do it. You know what I'm saying? And they have a hard time delegating that stuff. You know what I mean? And then they wind up burning themselves out or start resenting other people in their team. So I agree with you. But I mean, that's more than just podcast. That goes in any business, even friendships. You know what I'm saying? You gotta let people know, man, energy's gotta be shared both ways equally for anything to be successful.
No, you're absolutely right. And no, you're right. And I do appreciate the team kind of, reaching out, saying, hey, what's going on, Camille? Look, reaching out and saying, hey, look, are you cool? Can you do this? Is it something that I need to do? And because I do have that type of spirit, I'm like, sure, well, look, let me just hurry up and do this because I know how it's supposed to look. And I may not be able to articulate how it needs to look. You get what I'm saying? But this is what I want. And then being able to say, okay, cool. It's not the fact that I don't trust individuals, right? It's not like I don't trust individuals, but I want to make sure that the vision is shared. And when I take a step back and then I'm able to see, they do get it. Oh, okay, cool. I ain't got to worry about that no more. You get what I'm saying? Because it's just that small stuff, the whole storming type of thing. But no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. What other tips you think you have, ma'am?
So, well, to go a little further, then I ended up leaving that podcast and starting my own Ciphered Knowledge with Chrissy. But I did do a media. It's not an official media group, but me and two other guys kind of came together. And we decided that we were just going to throw all our podcasts on one platform, share one YouTube channel, and we would grow together like that. They actually came from the other podcast group as well. So we all did that. And, I still love them. We still support each other. We still share each other's stuff. But when we started to look at goals, I realized that we were like, they're happy with just doing the podcast and in the enjoyment of it, which is great. But for me, I'm always like on 1,000, right? So like anything I do is not going to be done unless it's 1,000%. So I'm always thinking ahead. I'm doing marketing. I'm networking. I'm doing this. and I was just at a whole different area, a whole different, I don't even want to say level, but I was just in a whole different realm of what they were doing. And I kind of sat down with them and was like, listen, let's just talk about this. And we had an open, and I think it was easier because it was men and not women. Ladies, I'm sorry if you're going to hate me for this, but I don't know. I think it was just easier because it was men. And we had that conversation. I said, listen, I think I'm going in a different direction, but I'm still here to support you. Right. They were like, you know what? Do it. And it was nothing but love. So I decided this way. For me, I think I'm Seth 2.0, right? So I'm always like on top of something, doing something. No, it's not like you said, Herm. It's not going to get done unless I do it, like, and stuff like that. So for me, I felt like it was better for me to be solo because then I had more control over what I was gonna, what I had control of, and nobody else can tell me anything. So I think if you're going to start a podcast, fundamentally know what you want to do. Like, is your goal for it to be a hobby? Is it going to be a hobby? Is it going to be a source of income? Is it going to be a little bit of both? Kind of figure out how much time you want to spend on it. How much time do you have to spend on it? Do you have finances that you're going to be able to put into this? Or is this just going to kind of be like, I just get behind the camera and do it? Because there is a lot more to it than just getting behind the camera, depending on where your goal is. Mm-hmm. So that would be my advice. Like, really talk to other podcasters, make notes, watch other podcasts, see what they're doing, what the niche is, how much marketing is enough marketing, how much marketing is too much, stuff like that would be my advice for anyone looking to get into this realm of work, because it's work.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people get into it and don't really know why they're really doing it. For one, like like you said, what is your end goal? What are you trying to do with it? Is it a hobby? It's like put it in terms that a lot of people understand. A lot of guys pick up basketball, right? Are you on my team because you just trying to have fun, or you trying to win this game? You know what I mean? Because if you're just trying to have fun, I'm not picking you. You know what I mean? Don't sit over there and play with the people that want to have fun. We trying to win. So I think a lot of people need to understand if they're going to get into anything, like, first, why are you trying to do it? Like, people say, know your whys. And what's going to motivate you to keep getting up and doing it every day? You know what I mean? Because if it's going to be money, I don't think you're going to be successful at it, because, man, you ain't going to see money for probably a long time. You know what I mean? So what is going to be your motivation to keep getting up and do this? Larry, what's your motivation for doing the Lions Den, bro?
Yeah, because he looks half asleep right now.
We got motivation. I know the Rams done got put out the playoffs, but man, what motivates you to get up and come do the Lions Den with us, bro?
See? First off, I ain't half asleep. I'm sitting here digitally looking and trying not to comment and jump in when I'm not needed. But what motivates me to do the Lions Den is, man, just giving my insight, my experience, my advice, whatever it is I have to bring to the table to kind of be a voice for those that look and think and act and do whatever just like I do, that really don't understand or have any guidance as to what they want to do in life. So my biggest thing is just trying to be honest, be authentic, and voice kind of what most people that look like me think, or at least address it, and say what most can't say or don't have the platform to say. Usually just using this platform really to be that voice.
You know what, man, that's a good question though, Herm, because I think, man, we all are just so super dope. You get what I mean? And I really do. I had this conversation earlier with someone. Look, we all have gifts, you see, and what is the point of you half-ass using your gift, you see, especially if you have the gift of connecting with individuals. And now if you do it naturally, that's cool, but you can always, you can step it up, right? It can echo, it can connect, it can change lives, you see. And so what I personally don't like to see is individuals not be using their gifts passionately, right? You ever see, speaking of basketball, you ever see somebody that's very talented, naturally talented, but they just half-ass play? Like, it almost eats you up. Like, do you know what I would do if I had that?
If I was 6'10", you know what I would be doing right now?
even like Tracy, like she was on, because I talked to her earlier about this. I said, hey, are you interested? Have you ever thought about creating a platform to connect with individuals for, credit support or credit repair? Have you ever thought about that? Because people can always pick up little things here and there because you give a different perspective. Your voice is able to do that. You see what I'm saying? So, but back to you though, Chrissy. What would you say has been the most impactful? Was it the veteran that came on, or what was the most impactful thing that you've experienced with your voice and your platform?
So I swear, Seth, I am not pulling your leg, but it was the episode with you. I'm telling you, I am not. I swear I am not. I just had.
I'm gonna give you applause for that. Hey,
I can't even hit the mute button, man.
No.
I don't want to knock my phone over.
You never know who's watching, man. You never know who's watching and taking notes. Prime example.
That's true. Yeah, I would never. Yo, that's dope.
I'm telling you, it was your book. Like I don't know if you understand. Like I read your book, like, and it was so good that I was like, I need to finish this book. That I put it on audio while I was working out because I needed to finish this book. Like I needed to get this book. Hold on, what?
You got it on audio?
No. See, it's an app. So my audio book it's not done yet, but you can put it under.
So Kindle, if you have Alexa, Alexa will play the book for you in audio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, shout out to those out there that say they want to support the book, but they don't like to read.
Well, I got the book. I bought it, man.
I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about other folks. They say, hey, brother, hey, I heard I got a book, but I don't like to read.
You have to read it, Herm. It's good. If you haven't read it, you need to pick that book up and read. And I gifted 3 books too.
You did.
Yeah,
and
I do the audio version all day. You gonna have me sit there and read, I'll be doing something else.
Yeah.
But
why was it? Why was it impactful?
For me, because I think you made me look inward, right? You made me really reflect on what was I doing? I think that was also at the pivotal point of my podcast where I was deciding whether I was going to go solo on my own channel, because it was right before the end of season 1 for me. And my son, when he did the clip edit, right, he watches the whole show. I have a 14-year-old who does my edits for me. He's phenomenal with it. And
shout out to him too, because it is clean. It's clean.
He did your watering the plastic water plant, the plant. And I watch it over and over again to make sure that everything, like you said, is clean. We don't need to cut anything else out. And it just kept hitting me. And I was like, I was just having this conversation with my significant other. And I was telling him that was one of my best podcasts. Like, I think we had the second highest views on that one. And my wine episode, of course, was like number 1 because we got all drunks, but whatever. Right? But definitely that was number 1 for me. It just resonated with me and made me reflect and think and really dig deep into what it was that I wanted to do. And if this is something I wanted to continue doing.
Awesome. Well, congratulations to you and your success with your show. But no, that's dope. What you got, Larry?
I keep muting myself. Hey, Chrissy, I know you started to answer my question, but you didn't really answer it fully. I want to know what drove you to doing the podcast, though. I understand how you got to where you are and the ups and downs, but what is your passion about doing podcasts, and why should somebody newly to you, want to listen and tune in to you?
So my grandfather, for me, was the know-all. He knew everything. Nobody could touch him. Like he was my king, and like nobody can compare to this man. And from a little girl, I must have been 8, 9. I mean, I was like where my grandfather was, I was on his hip. And that wasn't usual. Like he was an actor and a playwright, so I would go into Manhattan with him while he would do his little readings, and I would be off stage left, right, watching him rehearse and do all of that. And when we got home, like all the time that we've spent together, we would talk about everything. I mean, we even talked about aliens. We talked about relationships. We talked about religion, medicine. Medicine is why he is the reason I went into medicine. So, because his first love was medicine, but he ended up joining the army, and he did serve our country as well. So that was not an option for him. And then when he came home, he did. I went into his acting career. So for me, every time I spent that time with him, it was just joy. Like I had so much joy in my heart spending those moments with him. When I was 18, unfortunately, he lost his battle with leukemia. And what I started finding myself doing was talking to other people. And when I would provide information to other people that they maybe didn't have, it was like I felt that joy back in my heart. So when I do my podcast for me and I'm able to disseminate this information, I get giddy. It's like I'm a little girl again, sitting, on the couch across from my grandfather. There's that joy that's there. And let me tell you, you could be in the street. We could be on the bus together. And I hear you talking about something that I have the answer to. And even if you don't ask me, I'm cutting in that conversation. I'm like, hold on, let me tell you, this is how you're going to do it. You're going to go to this website and you're going to and just to see how I help someone else. It could be the silliest little thing, but it just brings me joy. I'm really enthusiastic about it. And I think it's kind of a natural progression from being a nurse, being a nurturer, and being a hospice nurse at that, and helping people and families at their most vulnerable time kind of transition their loved one to end of life, and being able to provide that comfort. I think it just kind of all, cumulates together and is it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you. No, that's I think individuals can resonate with that. That's awesome. That is awesome. And it's important to utilize your passion and find out where you can actually place it. Hey, but listen, ladies and gentlemen, yes, it is. It is bad ear hustling. Mind your business. Hey, listen, everybody wanted. What you say? What you reading over there? What you talking about? Going out of here. But listen, ladies and gentlemen,
correct me.
Yeah, right. Telling me how to say words correctly. Anyway, so listen, everybody, if y'all on, we do appreciate this. Make sure y'all share this. We're here with Miss Chrissy. Yo, Ciphered with Miss Chrissy. So we're going to be right back after these messages. Y'all know where we at and what we do. We're here at the Lion's Den. Okay, there's nowhere else to be better than where you are right now. Be right back.
Monique Slater is a top negotiating, award-winning real estate agent in San Antonio, Texas. Her focus is on educating and empowering individuals on building generational wealth through home ownership while providing exceptional service with integrity and excellence. Although her heart is for serving first-time home owners and the military community, her clientele ranges from $100,000 to $2.5 million. Monique has developed an awesome team that can get individuals into a home. Mention you heard this ad on the Lion's Den with Seth and get a $500 rebate from Monique at closing. After servicing in the Air Force for over 28 years, retired Chief Slater has a massive network, so she can connect you with an awesome agent anywhere in the U.S., and your referral will get a special gift card from Monique. If you're in the San Antonio area or relocating there, give Monique a call first to help you find your dream home. Her number is 210-237-7268. One thing we can cherish during these times is family dinners. Think about it, the nice, succulent southern fried chicken, baked beans cooked to perfection, creamy macaroni and cheese, cornbread. You get the point. Come check out Kevlar's Grill, where all the meals are cooked with perfection, professionalism, and love. Located outside the Scott Air Force Base back gate inside the VFW is where you can find them. Also, they have military discount for all of our serving members. Give them a call. Their number is 618-416-5700, and that's inside Scott VFW Post 4183. And they also have Grubhub. Call them now and tell them that the Lion's Den sent you. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. We here talking about your big breakthrough with Miss Chrissy. Yeah. Look, y'all, she got an outstanding show, and she's here on the Den, right? Giving us some words of wisdom on a multitude of things. But what we can do to stay engaged, connect with each other, and how you use your voice. So before I give it to Big Herm, just want to ask you something. When was your breakthrough? Like, when did you know what? I'm ready to go all in and utilize my voice, like for real. Like I'm ready to break away. When was that?
I think it was about halfway through season 1 for me. Because when I started, it was a slow go. It was, I was kind of booking week by week. It wasn't all coming in at once. And I want to say by like episode 7, season 1 for me, all of a sudden it was an influx of people contacting me wanting to be on the show. And I was like, you know what, Chrissy? This might be something. You might be on to something here. And it wasn't an ego thing for me. It was more of a confirmation that what I was doing was reaching people and it was making a difference. Mm-hmm. And that was my aha moment for me, that I was like, you know what? And then to have some loyal viewers where if I'm not on at 8:00 on Sunday and they're in my inbox, like, where you at? You're not having a show today? Like, what's going on? That was for me the moment that I was like, you know what? This is it. This is what I'm doing. I have a purpose. And whether it's 10 people or 10,000 people, it doesn't matter to me as long as I'm reaching one.
There you go. Mm-hmm. There it is. That's dope.
I hear that. And believe me when I tell you, we know that exact feeling here on the Lions Den. You know what I'm saying? Where it went from, we don't know who the next guest going to be. We jumping and trying to find guests come and find you. And it really is a great feeling because it really does kind of validate why you're doing it. You know what I mean? It's like people are really feeling you and they do believe your platform is important enough to share their message and reach the people that you reaching. So yeah, we understand what you mean when you say that. But my question is this: what is going to determine success for you? You know what I mean? Again, I talked about it earlier. A lot of times people put monetary value on it. I know local rappers back home that still rap, and people clown them because they haven't made it. But in their eyes and their heart, they have made it. You know what I'm saying? I agree with them. You know what I'm saying? So what is the point where you look in the mirror, you're like, you know what? I did what I set out to do. I'm successful in what I'm trying to do right here.
So for me, I already deem myself as successful for the mere fact that I had a woman who was a refugee from Mozambique, Africa. Come on. And she is a founder of the Firmina Foundation, and she built schools in 3 different territories in Africa. And she was doing fundraising to get desks put into these schools for these children. And I was looking at the video of like what their school building looks like. It is 4 walls, no roof, and a dirt floor, right? And I'm just thinking to myself, like, we sit here and we gripe about what we have, and yet these kids are running around happy and giddy and don't even have a roof on their school building, don't even have a desk to sit in. They're getting classes under the mango tree, like in the rain, under all elements. And I helped her get some, I contributed to the fundraiser as well as had people contribute to the fundraiser, and I matched what people put in. And that for me, that for me, I'm successful because like I said, it doesn't have to be a massive amount. I don't have to make money off of it. But the fact that I can, because like I said, I'm an advocate by heart. And if I had enough tentacles, I would have them in every different area of life I can to help support. So I may not be able to give 100% of myself to everything, because then there's just things are going to fall by the wayside. But if I can at least give a little bit here and there and make some kind of contribution, that's success for me. I'm successful.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Hey, Chrissy, and continuing on with that discussion, I'm gonna go back and talk about, being consistent, the drive, the motivation to keep going. So I listen to a lot of the Eric Thomas, the Les Browns, even the 85 South show, for laughs and things in the mornings, whatever I'm doing to get going, to get up and get going. What do you say to those? And the reason I bring those up is because they talk about how they first started. You know, the audience wasn't there. They wasn't at 100 million people listening to them daily, week in, week out, or whatever it is, 1,000 people, whatever. It started. They had to build that brand. So what do you say to those that are watching you and they're thinking about, or they have this itch to build a brand about starting a podcast or a talk show, whatever it is that they want to bring or build upon? What do you say to those that are watching you now, how to get started and keep that motivation going?
So the first thing I'm going to say is you definitely have to be consistent even when the motivation is not there, right? Because there are going to be some days that you're just like, I don't want to do this. Even though you know what your purpose is, even though you know that there's going to be some value to it, you still have to strive on and go through that and kind of keep pushing. Someone who wants to, I actually have someone who watches my show, religiously. And he came to me with his wife and he was like, listen, I'm thinking about starting a podcast. What should I do? And I sat down and had a whole conversation with them. I said, listen, I'm a newbie. I'm still, learning and grinding just like everybody else. But you have to know what your niche is, right? You can't be all over the place. I don't feel like you can be all over the place. Now, this is just experience. I am not a professional by any means, but you have to know what your niche is and you want to kind of stick with that. Like if you ever watch these Gordon Ramsay cooking shows or these Redo My Restaurants, right? And they tell you to have your main courses, like to have 3 key meals like that everybody's going to order from. And I feel like with your podcast, you want to make sure you stick to some kind of streamlined discipline of what your platform is going to be. You don't want to be all over the place. But as far as motivation, it's a feeling you wake up with or you don't wake up with in the morning. So dedication and commitment and consistency is going to be what keeps you going.
I'm glad you said that. So, Herm, listen, I know that being on the Den is like the highlight of your life, but the question is, hey, look, has there ever been a time when you was like, damn, I don't feel like getting on, but then when we did, it was dope? Like how often, if that has ever happened, how often has that happened?
For me, man, it happened today, honestly. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie to you. I took my engagement photos earlier today. We was running late for that. Truck ain't working. My groin hurt like hell. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't really, before show, I like to have a routine and be relaxed before I come on. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't able to do that. So I was like, man, I got to get on this damn show today. And then as soon as we got on and we started talking to Chrissy, man, all that went away. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I was on. You know what I'm saying? Right. But up until this, you would have said, hey, and then the computer ain't working. I'm like, Lord have mercy. Everything that can go wrong is going wrong right this second.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, I've had those moments to where, it gets to you like, man, I kind of don't want to do this today. But it's like as soon as you get on and you feel the energy from the other people that's on the show, it's like you just re-energize your battery and the Blazer. You know what I mean?
The Blazer ain't do nothing. Hey, look, hey, what about you, Larry?
Hey, I can't lie, man. It's I'm a sports guy. I watch a lot of football, so I'm a football guru when it comes to just the NFL Sundays. So at 6:00, 5:30 prep time, it's like, damn, the night game coming on. I'm trying to watch football. You know,
Right.
so my motivation is just like, man, you know what? Is that really important when we're talking about some of the conversations that we had? So once we get going and we start talking, you know, all that stuff go out the window, and then come to find out I ain't missed much of anything anyway. So, you know, it's the motivation piece, the consistency. It's, you know, we make it look easy. I ain't gonna lie, we do. But you know, behind the scenes, it's like some days you do have those days where, like, man, today I don't really feel like getting on today. And
Yeah,
then once you get on, it's like, damn, this was probably one of the best shows we had.
that's
So
true.
Right.
just
That's
imagine if
Right.
you'd have missed it.
And then not just that. I mean, it's good to see each other's faces and then see each other's point of view. And then we have a team of individuals, or an audience, a family, a tribe, a pride of people that's like, yo, hold on, look, we need to talk about this, or we need y'all to we need to hear your perspective on this because our voice matters. And I would talk about this one more time, y'all. If you have a voice and you have a platform, or even thinking about having a platform, find out where your heart is. Are your intentions pure? Like, yo, you're trying to get in. Look, I want to get 1,000 followers for what? For what? Just to say you got them? You dig? Or, you know what I'm talking about? Because do you want to have followers, or do you want to have a commitment? Right? Do you want a family? Right? And a true tribe of individuals that can help you when you get tired, bro. I be laying down, like I'm looking at the clock, and it just seemed like the time speed up. I'm like, oh damn it, I thought I was gonna get a chance to take a quick nap, bro. I love my naps.
Right.
If I can't do that, then I'm like, all right, let me get ready for the day. It's like, soon as this happened, boom, it's like game on. You dig? It's like game on. So Chrissy, you've dealt with that. I'm sure you have dealt with that.
Yes, and it's only me. So if if I don't do it, it ain't happening. And you know, I feel like I have guests that are booked, so they're expecting me to be on and be ready. And then just like I wouldn't want them to cancel on me last minute, I'm not going to cancel on them last minute. And but it's true. It's like you get there and you're like, you know what? I had a good time. Like, that was fun. Like, this is why I did it. But it's just the buildup sometimes when you've got so much going on in your personal life.
Jeez.
But this is definitely therapeutic. So once I get in this seat, once this mic gets adjusted, like you said, with your headphones, I'm there, I'm here, I'm ready, and it's on, and I'm on, and I don't know, lights go on, and everything's all different.
Yeah,
So,
and you know what? I'm glad you said that too. Because hold on, one minute though, because shout out to Camille. She's one my co-host on this Sanity Check. That's in the morning, Saturday morning. So look, you really can't get it in the way you want to on Friday. Like, so you can lean, but you can't fall, because individuals that are dependent on you, and then they're waiting for that authentic thought and that clarity. And how we gonna call it a sanity check when I'm hungover? You dig? It doesn't make sense. But go ahead. What you gonna say, Herm?
Hey man, I wanted to go back to what you were saying about having a responsibility for your platform, right? And question for you, Chrissy. We have a lot of people that want to come on to our show, and sometimes they hit me up. I said, "What you want to talk about?" Well, shit, I could talk about anything.
No, you're right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we can talk about anything, but what do you want to talk about? You know what I mean?
What is what you talk about going to change?
Yeah, that's why I said, shit. What you want to talk about? I can talk about whatever y'all want. I'm just trying to get on the show, dog. And so, you know, again, you have a responsibility to vet like who's going to come on the show, because it's not that you don't like these people, man, and it's not like they might not be entertaining, but you owe it to your audience to give them somebody that's going to be in front of them that's going to pass on something that make them think like, damn, I'm glad I tuned in today. You know what I'm saying? So how do you vet your people, Chrissy, when people want to come onto your show?
It's so funny that you said that, because my wine guy that's coming on tonight, that we're doing the second part, he's an old friend. Like, I grew up like from 5 years old, maybe even before that. And he hit me up when I started doing my own show, and he was like, yo, Chris, like, I want to be on the show. And I was like, all right, same conversation. What do you want to talk about? I can talk about anything. No. So what I start doing is I start trying to pull out of them, right? So I was like, all right, what are you passionate about? And he's like, well, I'm passionate about my job and da-da-da. And I was like, okay, all right, what do you love to do? Right? Like, so I pull it out of them. And then he was like, I love to go on wine trails. I've done every wine trail in Pennsylvania, Connecticut, and New York, and New Jersey. And I said, bam, There you go. Let's talk about this.
There you go.
Mhm.
And that's what I pulled out of him. And some of my guests that I've had that I've come along that I normally wouldn't do, like I have some actors and comedians coming on, and that's not usually my platform, but I've been working with other podcasters, and I was like, okay, like I might have to expand and broaden what I'm doing. But I always tell them, if you're going to be on the show, I need something from you that's going to be insightful and educational to my viewers. So whether it's an experience that you've been through that they can learn from, it doesn't have to be like, you know, a big advocacy. It doesn't have to be a huge, you know, but something that you've experienced that maybe someone else hasn't is and we'll talk about it. So no, not everybody makes it on. I've had one that I love her story, and I think it would be a great story, but
Somebody else.
yeah, just not my
Right.
platform.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, and I politely say I don't think we're a fit. I don't think we, you know, it mixes well with my platform. But let me see if I can find somebody else that I think you'd be a perfect fit for. I don't
Now I
just leave
know
them in the wind.
I know I can be on your show now, Chrissy.
No, don't
Check it.
you.
I eat rib tips everywhere I go. You know, it's not quite wine, but you know what I'm saying? I eat rib tips everywhere. You know what I mean? So I can get on there and talk about how them ribs be hitting.
See?
Think about it. I'm just saying, think about it. Hit me up later.
Okay, I'll think about it. And if it's not for my platform, I may find someone for you.
There you go. Right. Yeah, go to Roscoe's and them over there.
That way.
But that way. Go ahead. What you got, Larry?
Yes, ma'am. I want to just say I appreciate you coming on the show and sharing your thoughts about the podcast world, because I think a lot of what you shared correlates with, you see that word there, Herm? Correlates to what we do at the Lions Den as far as, you know, picking topics and being consistent. But I think one of the key things you hit on that I really want to talk about with you is being able to find that passion for whoever you got wanting to come on the show. Because a lot of people see the show and they're like, oh, yeah, I want to be on the show, and you know, and they catch you at, you know, random spots, gas station, grocery store, whatever. I watch the show, I like what you guys are talking about, what you're doing, and they want to just get on. But it's like, okay, you can come on, but what are we talking about? You know, because at the end of the day, the goal is to send out a message and give people food for thought, something to walk away with. So what are we talking about? Because we can talk stuff at the spade table all day long if we want to, but are we talking about something that's going to give somebody something to, you know, ponder, walk away with, and like, damn, I didn't even think about that. That made sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key to being in the podcast world, I think. You know, what do you have? What are you bringing to the table that cause me to walk away and think twice, maybe 3 times about, you know, changing something within myself, my circle?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
Absolutely. And it's also people's experience, right? Like I was saying, like you may have experienced something that I haven't. Like I have an actress coming on, and when we're talking on the phone, and I was like, I want you to dig deep, like find something. And I overheard her say, no, not that. And I was like, wait, stop. What did you just say no to? Right? So she was like, I sing opera. I also sing opera. I was like, whoa, how is that not cool? Like, how many people you think really sing opera? Like, no, we talk about opera. Like, right. You know, but she was ready to to say no and brush it away and stuff like that. But what I found too is a lot of the guests that I, quiz like that, I actually give them something to walk away to think about, right? They're like, you know what? Like, I like this. Like, they get excited about it because they're like, what's important about me? What do I have to offer? What do I have to give in a world where they didn't think they had anything to give?
Yeah. You know what? Being a podcaster is like a music producer. You understand it is, because when you produce music, you have to find the rhythm of the artist sometimes. Now, if you're just making music and you're just shopping it out like that, then people will take your beats or whatever the case is. But when you are really producing music for someone, you have to find that gel, because you have the platform, but they have the lyrics, so to speak, right? And so you have to put it together, but it has to gel well. So you're right, you have to get those little things. But before we go, let's talk real briefly about your guest from last night. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, she had a guy on her show that read people. He had tarot cards, right? They had tarot cards?
No, he's just this. For one of them, he did a reading with cards, but it's not tarot cards. It's they talk to him.
They talk.
The
So
spirits talk to him.
Yeah, he got. Yeah, see, look at her face. so he got these antennas on. You dig?
Yes.
He gets information. So tell us a little bit about that.
So he's a great guy. He is a psychic medium, intuitive medium, and he's been doing this for over 20 years. He actually lives here in Jersey with me as well. So he came on, we did a little bit of, I got him to talk about how he got into the business. How did he know that he was intuitive and could receive these messages? But he read about 6 or 7 people last night. And what I was asking the guests to do, because all my shows are live, what I was asking the guests to do was to chime in and verify what he was saying to be accurate. And every guest that he read verify that what he said was accurate. So one of my girlfriends, her mother-in-law passed away 10 years ago, and she asked, was she peaceful? Was she resting peacefully? And he was like, man, she ain't resting peacefully. She's like, what are you talking about? Don't you know I'm up here worrying about you and this and that and whatever and everything? And then he said, she wants to acknowledge a celebration, whether it's a birthday or anniversary or something. And my girlfriend chimed in and was like, my birthday's Wednesday.
See?
So, yeah.
So look, now I see. So here's the den, right? You're on the line, and now I love it because I can dig that. But of course, we got our skeptics, and look over there. You see that one over there?
Yeah.
Look, you see that? What you thinking, Herb? You see, hey, even Larry, both of y'all out of line. All right, so what you think? Go ahead. What y'all think?
I think?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna have to see it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to see. I'm a seer to believer when it comes to that. I don't knock nobody. Like when you tell me that a celebration is coming up, yeah, probably. You know what I mean? I might be celebrating something in my life. You know what I mean? My life ain't totally. Something's gonna happen. So I don't know. I would have to see it to believe.
I'll give you another one. He told this one girl, she was like, my dad died when I was 8. Does he have a message for me? So he tells her, I see cans. I see a lot of cans. Like I keep hearing the ShopRite can commercial, like can. He's like the can girls. I see a lot of cans. And she said her father collected cans, and she still has his can collection.
Get the hell out of here.
See?
Watch it.
See,
Watch
Larry,
it.
What you think, Larry? What you think, Larry?
Hey man, I'm not big into the psychics world. I don't know a whole lot about it to really comment on it, but I just know that I don't know if I want to reconnect with the spiritual world like that, the spiritual side of the house. So yeah,
you don't want to open up.
Keep it in my head, but I don't want nobody telling me what my grandma had to say to me who died 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Don't do that.
Hey, got a question, Chrissy. Hey, you think we can get him on the Lions Den?
I don't see why not. I think he could. I think he'd come on.
hey, so as a matter of fact, let me ask the audience though. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all think he should be on one good time,
my palm. My hand.
No, but seriously, I think it's different though. I think it's different.
I think it would be a lot of fun.
I think it would be too, because I mean, you never know. You never know. But look, Chrissy, we want to thank you for being on. Larry, what's your final word, brother?
Yep, Chrissy. I appreciate you coming on and spending the time with us, and I would sure to tune in tonight on your podcast. I like the things you got going on behind you, which as far as your model for your show. And you brought a lot of insight into, especially the amateurs, the newbies that's starting to do the podcast. Hopefully you gave them something to walk away with, which is the whole point to me of a podcast, right? So thank you. Appreciate your time.
Right on. Big Herm.
So for me, Chrissy, one of the things that I've seen about you from just following your page, love the way that you're marketing yourself. We probably should have talked about marketing a little bit. It was on my mind, but love the way that you're marketing yourself and taking the time to come and talk to our guests about starting. Appreciate that. I hope to catch more of your shows. in the future. So, and take me up on my real tip offer. I'm also a karaoke extraordinaire. There's plenty of things I could talk about on your show.
You know what?
Okay, I'll look into that. I'll see where that falls and fits in.
Yeah.
Right. No, look, go ask your boy, your psychic boy. He had his fool on. But no, seriously though, thank you, Miss Chrissy. Look, we appreciate you being on. Ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you go and check her out, y'all. She got a dope show. All right, Ciphered Knowledge, cipheredknowledge.com, and she's on Facebook. You're on Instagram too, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
She's on Instagram. So check her out at 8:00. As a matter of fact,
8:30 tonight.
Good. All right, I put 8:00. My bad. So
it's normally 8:00. It's just 8:30 because I took some special time out for Seth and the Lions Den.
Bow. Yes. So look, everybody, y'all take some time, get y'all night situated, and go right back to her.
I'm giving away wine. We have a wine giveaway. Yes, I'm giving away wine.
Hey, look. We got some winos in here listening. And please make sure you go out and support Miss Chrissy. Look, we appreciate y'all being on, watching us, and make sure you share this, okay? And Chrissy, we're looking forward to you when we got a little bit of time left, right, for you to get, with the family, with the bride. You know what I'm saying? Come on over to the side. The water's fine. You dig it? The water's fine. It would be a good time. But nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, we do appreciate y'all being on. We will see y'all next week. Right on and right on. Later.